This one is about forms. Wait a second. I know it's not that exciting. Sure, you have the websites and you have the texting, call, and the automations and all of that stuff. That's great. Forms don't get any respect. They're the backbone of the entire system. You can use them to give people the links directly for the forms in order to qualify people, or you can put them on your website like this or like this. And now with the conditional logic that they have built in, you can do all of these things. So it's very cool. Look, I'm not going to bore you with it. Let's jump right into it. And look, as always, we're going to talk about how we can use it to help what we're doing. Doing this, we can do one more thing without doing one more thing. Okay? So for all the newbies out there, or if you're brand new on the system, let me show you exactly how to find forms. So what you want to do is go under sites. Once you pick sites, go to the top here. You're going to pass by all of these guys here and land on forms. On forms, you're going to have three different options here. So it's where you're building the form, where you're going to analyze the form, and where when someone fills out that information, this is where you're going to find those submissions right there. Pretty self-explanatory. So now that we are here, we got all of our forms right there. I'm going to show you guys the real world application of it. So let's say you're collecting reviews. Did I do a good job? And then you can use a rating system like 1 to 5 stars. That's pretty typical. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of the forms that I already created, and it's called a perfect review form. And here it is. All right. So when we're in the perfect review form, this one is already set up. So I'm going to go through some of the options and exactly why I have it set up that way. And then it could give you some ideas on how you can use it. So I have 2 use cases for you guys using the new logic in the workflows or in the forms themselves. So right here, pretty simple. Again, if you're new, we're going to be using forms for our websites, for any information we want collected. And these all come once they're completed. You can just offer this link to someone and have them fill it out. So right here is my perfect review form. And this is just a rate your experience. So this is a custom form and it has 1, 2, 3, up to 5 stars. The other fields here you can see is the phone, email, and the full name, which I should change those around a bit. But when you're here, you can change this information. So let's say I wanted to get the full name and put it up there to the top. So we can move things around there. And then one thing that A2P always requires is that you have your terms and conditions there. So if somebody fills out that form, they could expect to get some text messages. And that protects you as well, because now you have it on file. You don't have to worry about that, right? So when it comes to this form, you'll see you have a plus right here. And this plus is just to add in some quick elements here. So you have all your custom fields are going to be here. And then, all your quick fields are going to be here, but your custom fields are going to be here. So every single field that you add into your system to make it work better for you is available right there on the side. So you drop those in. Right now, just for my perfect review, I just need these. So for example, since we're in real estate, you might want to have a form for a motivated seller and have their information all completed there. You might even want to have a form when you're looking for a VA. Are they qualified? What's their internet speed, right? What's their experience with marketing or text messaging or anything like that? You want to have all of those fields here, custom fields. So once we have the form in place, now we need to add some logic behind it. What does that mean, right? Well, I jumped ahead, actually. So let's look, and we have our form element, okay, which is we have our custom fields over here. Every field that we've ever added into the system, we can add them onto this form. Now, this isn't a video about custom fields. I'm sure you guys already know how to do that. So let's just right? Then we have the quick add fields. So this is just the boilerplate information that you can add right here to the form. But what do we come for? We came for the logic. So 1 second, if you're getting anything out of this video or you've seen my other videos, do me a favor, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps with the algorithm and helps get more people to get this information. If you need any sort of setup or affiliate links or anything like that, look below. That's going to save you a ton of money to some helpful software. And if you need coaching out of the box setup, give me a call, hit the links below, and we'll get on the call. All right, see ya. So we have some new conditions, some new logic built around the forms. So there's the 4 options right there at the top. Pretty self-explanatory, but I'll go through it. We could redirect to a URL when certain things happen. Then we can send them to a new location. Now, you might be saying, why would we want to do that? Well, in this use case here, if they rate us as a 5-star in their experience, we want to make sure to capture that information and spread that everywhere, right? Everywhere. So when they say, yes, they had a 5-star experience, we're going to send them to our Google My Business page and then have them leave a review there. Because what does everybody do as soon as they move into a new area? They look up the service providers in that area, right? So we want to make sure to capture all of those reviews onto our page. Now, what if they say they're dissatisfied with the service? No problem, I got you. What we could do is display a custom message, right? When that happens, so for example, you might go,
sorry that you had a bad experience. Please allow someone to get in contact with you, right?
So that can be a use case for that, for a message. Let me close this out here. Because what we want to do is we're going to grab the logic, and the first one, redirect to URL. So you can see right here, I have, if the experience is 4 stars or 5 stars, we're going to send them to this URL to capture their information. But if they say their experience is 3, 2, or 1, we want to send them to a separate page. I'm going to show you exactly how that works, but just keep with me. And then you have disqualify lead and show or hide fields. So let's look at the form and see exactly what happens based on this. So you can see redirect, and when you choose, you can choose those fields that you put into the form as one of the triggers that happens in the form. So now you don't have to do that in a separate workflow, or if this form receives this type of answer, it's all right here in the form. So if the rate your experience is equal to, let's say 2 stars, then we want to open up one that says like go to badreview.com, right? So we're going to send them somewhere where we can help them, give us a second chance at the apple. So think about it. If you're a realtor, if you're a restaurateur, if you're any sort of service business that collects reviews, when you get that 3-star, now you can send them to a different location, collect their information, and then try to resolve that and turn them into a raving fan, right? Because that's what the bad reviews are about. The good reviews are great, but the bad reviews give us a chance to turn those people into strong customers, right? So let's see how this works. So let's go preview. And when this preview pops up, then I'm going to show you what happens on the rating when you go to rate your experience. So here we are at rate your experience. And right now, remember, we had those other fields underneath, but right now those fields don't show unless the logic kicks in. So right here we have rate your experience. So let's go for a 1-star. I had a terrible experience. See what happens there? When I chose the 1 star, then it opens up an opportunity for me to get more information from my client. So let's put in an email address, test@test.com, and a phone number, doesn't matter. And once we choose to submit, right, because our experience was a 1-star. So now the second thing is that we have a URL redirect. So the URL redirect sends us to this page, which I included a video here, that just, again, gives us a second chance to connect with the client. So if they had a bad experience, this video in my mind was to say, hey, so sorry that you had a bad experience. Here is a free offer. Here is a lunchtime special. Here is something of value to turn them into a second client or a client for a second time, and then give us the opportunity to wow them the second time. So that's how that works on the logic. Let's go back here. So in that form, we used a couple of different logics, right? So one was, we're going to show the field if a 3, 2, or 1 star comes up, because if they are a satisfied customer, we don't really need to collect that information, right? We want to send them straight to Google, have them do the perfect review. Now, if they redirect to a URL, if they redirect, then the only way that they could redirect is if it equals a 4 or a 5 star. Then it's going to redirect. Right now I have it to my website, but or to some small business, we're going to have them sent straight over to Google My Business, collect those stars. That's going to boost up our ranking, and we're good to go. Now, if we want to disqualify the lead, then we're going to send it over to the thank you page that you just saw. And that's the one with the video. It just says, give us a chance to make you into a great fan of ours or a repeat customer. So, but why did this happen here, right? Because when you choose that you have a bad experience, I want to collect that information, but I don't want that information to always show. So that's why when you show, what you can do is if rate your experience is equal to these lower ones here, then you can choose to show or hide different fields. It could be one or it could be multiple. See here. So think about it. If we send them a form, we don't need to collect their information necessarily up front. But if they have a bad experience, let's show all of our fields, and these are just the custom fields that we have added there. And the checkbox shows up on the side. So when they have the bad experience, those fields show up, we collect that information, boom. If they have a great time, we send them straight over to Google, and now we're good to go. Now, how could this work for real estate? So what we can do here is we could set up the same form with the same logic, except this one is going to have different fields. So if we're looking for a VA, then let's say we're looking for the VA who's a good cold caller, right? We're looking for a cold call VA. Well, we're going to ask about their internet speed, if they have backup generators, things like that, things that happen in other countries to make sure that we can filter through. Okay, have they had experience on these jobs before? Leave a sample of a voice message that they will leave. And you include all of those things on the form. When you include all of those on the form, guess what? Here's what we're going to do. Let's go back. So we're going to add in a form. We're going to start from scratch. And this form, this logic here is going to be super simple. If it's a cold caller that you're looking for and they miss one of these entries here. So let's say we go here and go custom field, and let's say we want to go need details, and we go urgency to close, let's say, right? but this would be like a VA field. Now, if this VA field, so when we pull up the form, we include one of these fields here. So let's just say we're going to do KPIs. I'm going to choose one of these here, and I'm going to choose number of calls. So once we save that, then we start to add in some logic to it. So here's the logic, and we're going to disqualify this lead based on certain things. So if the number of calls, but let's say this field was instead voice recording sample, and they didn't include the voice recording, or you gave them a multiple choice option of how long have they worked on projects like this? 1 year, 6 months, no experience. Well, when they choose that one, let's say it's 2, then we can disqualify them, right? We could say, thanks for your time. You do not make the cut. For a lack of better words, of course, I would say something different. But when it equals something that disqualifies them, you don't have to take the time to respond back to each one. We set the message, we save it. Anyone comes in when their number of calls is less than 2, or their, let's say, experience is less than 6 months, we could disqualify those people, and then we can keep all of the people who have the best attributes or the best experience and add them into our system. So guys, I didn't want to make this a long one, but this is how you use the forms, the new condition of it. Let's get to it. I hope that gave you some ideas. All right, thanks so much. If you got anything from the video, like, subscribe, check out some more of my videos. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Hey, wait 1 second. I wanted to say this real quick to you guys. If you guys found any value in this video, or you like what you see, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and all of that stuff. It really helps the algorithm. And also, if you need any assistance with any setups or anything like that, please check all of the links below. I have some great affiliate links with some great services, and also some special offers. So check it out. Thanks so much.